Well, thank you for joining me today as we talk about one of Viking's most popular ocean itineraries, the British Isles Explorer. And of course, it's going to be on the beautiful ocean ships, which since the first ship hit the water in 2015 has been ranked #1 ever since. And there almost isn't a place in the world where Viking doesn't sail to. We have over 400 ports and 7 continents and 20 rivers and 5 Great Lakes. So if there's something on your bucket list, please get in touch with us. Viking probably sails there. And of course, the Viking philosophy really does permeate everything we do, from who we market to, who these cruises are for. They are for those active adults interested in art, history, culture, geography, who really enjoy focusing on the destination and getting a chance to stay in port longer. Viking's very inclusive, so you don't have to worry about being nickel and dime to death. And of course, they've got this amazing staff that just makes you feel like you're home away from home. Our guests love to travel and learn and understand, so Viking gives some great resources on the homepage about each of the itineraries we're sailing through. So whether it's filmography or books you want to read regarding the destination you'll go to, Viking has those resources available for you. And we have lots of great activities, both on board and ashore. The Viking way is to give an included shore excursion every port of call, but then we have optional excursions with specific emphasis. Local life, learning how people live, maybe doing a home visit, learning about traditions. Working world, how they make their living, visiting a cheese farm or a winery or the Mercedes-Benz factory, and learning how they make their living, and then privileged access. Those unique experiences that Viking has available to our guests that you can't purchase anywhere else because they're based on great relationships that they have developed over the years. We have more than 2 decades of experience, and these wonderful ships are state-of-the-art sister ships, so you never have to wonder if the ships are going to be dramatically different from one another. In fact, they're all basically cookie cutters of each other, except in the last few years, the ones that are named after planets like Venus, Mars, Orion, Jupiter, those have a planetarium above the Explorer's Lounge. But other than that, you're going to recognize it's going to feel like a home away from home, regardless of what ship you're on. They're small ships, only 930 guests, so you never have to feel crowded, feel like you have to get up early to save your spot on the ship. And because our ships are small, we can get close to those docking locations, so you can come and go on and off the ship easily, as well as spend more time in port. We have 8 different dining options, and of course, there's no additional charge. And we'll talk more about those later in the seminar. But one of the great things about Viking is the people. Viking is the employer of choice, and I think partly because the employees see Viking as a growing company and they want to be part of that. And so they attract really good people from top line cruises. They have great attention to detail. They know your name, know what you like to drink. They really care about you. And it's just a wonderful feeling to get to know, make new friends, even among the staff. I talked quickly about the different types of excursions, and I'm going to turn my camera off here just so it doesn't distract from your ability to see the different types of things that we can do on our sailing. But these are different options that our unique experience that Viking offers our guests to expand from just learning more about the city in general to going deeper to areas of interest that might be unique to things that you like to do. What we are not is an important slide, because this is what makes Viking stand apart from many other cruise lines. There's no casinos on board or children under 18. No umbrella drinks or photography sales or art auctions. Why this is important is that means we're not in a rush to get into international waters to open up those cash registers, allowing you to really feel relaxed when you're in port and when you're on the ship, because you don't have to worry about dodging someone trying to take your picture or slowing you down as you get on and off the ship because of those photo opportunities. There's no charge for beer, wine, and soft drinks with your lunch and dinner. Your alternative restaurants are included. Wi-Fi is included. We even have laundrettes on board with soap, so that if you want to do a load of laundry, you can do so. The entrance, the spa is beautiful, but there's no entrance fee. You only pay for services that you choose to purchase. However, if you do choose to purchase a service, there's no pressure from the attendant trying to get you to buy something during your massage or facial. No inside staterooms. Everything's a veranda. There's not a bad stateroom on the ship. No waiting in lines, formal nights, butlers, no nickel and diming. And it really is something that makes you feel like you're able to relax and enjoy your vacation. Viking has resident historians also on board that will give you deep insights into the areas you're sailing through, or the culture or the history. They'll have office hours that you'll be able to visit with them one-on-one. There's also guest lectures that you can enjoy, all designed to really help you learn more about the experience, go a little deeper than what you would normally do on your own. And so this is our itinerary for that we'll be talking about today. It's Bergen to London, or the reverse. You see, we overnight in Bergen and also in London. And this is a map here of this itinerary. As you can see, the little white dots show where we're going to be overnighting. So either direction, and of course we have pretty much made to the end of August for this itinerary. Like I said, book it early because it does sell out. Peak months, usually June, July, that peak summertime. But of course, if you want a little better rates and if you want maybe fewer crowds, then you might want to go on those shoulder seasons, which I personally like to do that kind of travel because I like to avoid the crowds as well. So here on this direction, we're going to be starting in Bergen. And this is such a beautiful city that we really visit on a lot of our itineraries. In the wake of the Vikings, for instance, Viking shores and fjords, Viking homelands, Iceland's majestic landscape. Into the Midnight Sun is another one, as is trade routes of the Middle Ages and In Search of Northern Lights. So you can see from this beautiful photo, there's like a 360-degree view, not only of Bergen, but of the surrounding fjords. Bergen was actually founded back in 1070, and it was once a Viking settlement. And it's got some beautiful 18th century houses that you can see right here on the waterfront. So on your arrival day, you'll be able to explore the waterfront. There's an incredible Hanseatic museum here, which was actually one of the original 4 offices that was established back in 1350. And we'll be docking right here in the Bergen Wharf. This is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and you'll find items with fish and fruits and vegetables. There's arts and crafts. So you could have a lovely time of shopping. Maybe you want to spend a little longer there and take in an authentic Norwegian meal, or you could, of course, go back on the ship where we'll overnight, and then we'll have the full day in Bergen the next day as well. So our included experience is a guided walking tour of the waterfront in these 18th century houses. It will tour that Hanseatic museum that I mentioned, and you can continue to explore if you prefer, or you can do some optional experiences. For instance, you might want to do flight seeing over the fjords. There's some beautiful glaciers that you'll take in on your flight. You can go on a Nordic walk up that high mountain that we saw in that first photo and get some exercise, get those great views. You might want to do a local life experience and take in a local Norwegian farm, learn about Norwegian life on a farm, and have a drive into the beautiful countryside as you explore there. It's a great city to start or end your experience. And of course, we do offer an extension to spend more time in Bergen and see all the wonderful included optional excursions that we have for Bergen. Just a great, great city. Day 2 is going to be, day 3 is going to be the Shetland Islands in Lerwick. And we're going to wake up here. We're going to be docking in Lerwick and have the opportunity to start off at a historic castle. We're going to learn about these cute little Shetland ponies, which are adapted for the rough weather here. And they're just short, stocky animals, but very, very powerful. And you'll learn about how they breed them, how their incredible strength. They actually worked the coal mines back in the day and are just a very interesting tour that you'll have to learn more about how these ponies are bred and what they're used for today. You could do a cruise and go look at some wildlife. For instance, the puffins, the otters, the sea lions. We'll get a chance to learn a little bit about the history and go out to sea and try to see some of these beautiful birds. Or you might want to go to a Norse settlement called Jarlshof. This is an amazing archaeological site, and It's as old as Stonehenge and just a beautiful drive getting here, but you can explore this area, walk through this ancient history, and spend a wonderful, interesting day in the Shetland Islands. Day 4, we'll be going to the Highlands, Invergordon, Scotland. So we'll leave that night and we'll cruise into the Highlands, and you'll wake up. You'll want to be on the Explorer's Lounge or on your veranda because you'll be sailing down the Cromarty Firth here. It's very scenic, and we dock in Invergordon, which is the gateway to the Scottish Highlands, known for its natural beauty and traditional Scottish heritage, so many different clans over the years. You can see Inverness Castle here, but there are many beautiful castles and churches that line the river along the Loch Ness. It's a charming town, and if you know someone of Scottish descent, you may want to have them do some history here because there are some archive buildings to learn more about your family tree. But a lot of people love this area for Loch Ness and the Urquhart Castle, which has history written back to the 6th century. And it's right there in the center to defend Loch Ness. Fortunately, it was blown up in the 1600s when they didn't want it to fall into the hands of the Jacobites. So this is what you're going to see today. But when you're in the visitor center, they're going to show you a film, and it's got floor-to-ceiling windows that are behind the screen. And at the end of the film, the screen will part and you'll have this incredible view and the shores of Loch Ness, and go out and explore and take pictures. And it's a tour that our clients really enjoy. We also have some optional excursions that are interesting. This is Cotter Castle, and this is said to be Macbeth's castle where the murder of Duncan took place. If you're a Macbeth fan, you'll get to meet the family that owns this castle, and it was built back in the 14th century, and it's been passed down through the generations. It has some beautiful gardens, as you can see here. And then we'll travel to Culloden and the famous battlefield, Culloden Moor. That's where the British fought the final battle and defeated the clans of the Scottish Highlands and Bonnie Prince Charlie in the 1700s. If you love Scottish history, they have markers here where each of the clan's dead were buried, and you can walk out on the battlefield and see that. But our included tour is of Inverness Castle, and we'll tour the town of Inverness, and you'll see the great little cobblestone streets. It's a wonderful shopping area, very, very picturesque. A wonderful day in the Highlands. Day 5 is a highlight because we're going to be in Edinburgh. It has a great atmosphere, incredible history, but so many things to do here. And just depending on the tide schedule, that's going to determine whether we dock or tender here in the port of Leith, which is a good time to mention that because of our small ships, rarely do we have to tender in, which saves you so much time. But of course, this is where this may change just due to the tides. But if you do dock in the port of Leith, that's where the Yacht Britannia is. And so you'll be able to see that as you sail in. But our included tour will give you a panoramic tour of the city, and you'll see Edinburgh Castle, which you see here. It's located on Castle Hill. It's got amazing overlooks of the new and the old town. And you can look down to the Royal Mile, to the Palace of Holyrood. Great city, so much history. You're going to definitely want to explore all the optional experiences that are available here. But the Royal Mile starts at Edinburgh Castle at the top of Castle Hill. And then you walk down past these amazing storefronts that just teem with history. You've got St. Giles Cathedral. You've got the Church of Scotland, which has an amazing stone pulpit. It's been beautifully restored. You've got kilt makers and pubs and whiskey makers. The famous Harris tweed wool that's made in the Hebrides Islands is also here. You can shop for that. Just a lot of history here. And right around the corner, if you're a fan of Harry Potter, you can see the Elephant House restaurant where J.K. Rowling wrote a lot of her books. The scenic drive is going to take you to the Palace of Holyrood House, where you'll be able to view this and learn more about the museum. You'll be able to learn about the famous monarchs that were here. Mary Queen of Scots, not the turret closest to you, but the one to the left is where her bedchambers and the throne room were, where she lived between 1561 and 1567, and it's a real highlight here. Also in this area is the famous Victoria Street, the colorful shops, and lots of history here. So you'll enjoy day 5 and go to visit all these options. And then one of our optional excursions, as I mentioned, is the Yacht Britannia. And you can go to this floating house of state, basically boat of state, which allowed the royal family to visit foreign nations before the jet age. And you'll be able to tour the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh's cabins, the formal dining rooms. It's about a 2-hour tour, just a short walk from where we will be docking in Leith for those days that we dock there. And of course, for those who love golf, you can't miss going to St. Andrews, and we'll spend literally the full day. When you're on your Viking journey, you'll see there will always have an activity level, how long it is, what's included, kind of what the special interests are. And that's how you can plan your stay based on your ability to do the level of activity that it's for. But our day here at St. Andrews, we're going to cross the Firth of Forth Bridge. That's that famous UNESCO World Heritage Rail Bridge that Edinburgh is known for. And you'll visit St. Andrews Cathedral, and you'll get to visit the golf store and shop. You'll be able to see the original home of golf and the Royal and Ancient Golf Club of St. Andrews. So if you like that, you'll want to definitely sign up for that experience. But then we can also do a visit to Stirling Castle. And if you love history, you're going to want to do that, as well as learn about the Stuart Kings, and it's where the birthplace of James II was. And this castle is back from the 15th century, sits high on the volcanic rock and has some incredible views. So a lot of things to do in our visit to Edinburgh. Another really popular option is privileged access that we talked about earlier. The Bruce family has been, excuse me, at the heart of history since the 12th century. And that's when Robert the Bruce took the throne and got Scottish independence from England. So this house has remained closed for centuries, but then the Bruce clan opened it up again, and one of the members of the Bruce family will actually greet you. You'll get a welcome drink, learn about the history. You'll be able to visit this ancient capital of Scotland and see the abbey and the final resting place of Robert the Bruce as well. And his tomb lies underneath the abbey's pulpit. Day 6 is going to be, excuse me, at the Orkney Islands, where we're going to take a scenic drive. And this is an area a lot of people don't get to see, but you'll get to visit this archaeological site, again, believed to be older than Stonehenge. And they have actually called this the Scottish Pompeii because it was covered up with sand and it's being slowly unearthed. We'll also see the Ring of Brodeur, which is almost 5,000 years old as well. There's a lot of wartime history in Orkney Islands as well. In World War II, Scapa Flow was an area that was very heavily protected. So a lot of British battleships would go here. But they had Italian prisoners who asked their captors if they could build a church. And so they were given permission, and they just took scraps of whatever they could find. They built 2 Kwanzaa huts and extra pieces of metal, but it is still there. A lot of people like to visit that. And so if you are interested in World War II history, and of course you want to see that as well, this would be a good day, a good excursion for you to go to. And then a popular excursion is visiting a privileged access experience to Highland Park, which is the world's most northerly whiskey distillery, where you have a tour and tasting. You'll be able to enjoy a typical Orkney Island lunch. In the afternoon, you're going to get to visit Hobbister Moor, which is where all the peat comes from that they make with the whiskey with, and it gives it a really distinctive taste. And you'll get to return with your own bottle of Highland Park whiskey. Day 7, you're going to want to get up early here because we're going to be sailing into the Highlands, but a little bit more in the northwest. Look at this beautiful small fishing village. You'll have some scenic cruising that morning, and you'll come into where we tender as you go through Loch Broom into Liverpool. This remote area, very beautiful. You'll just want to get some great photos here, and you can do your included tour, but then stop at a pub, just have some locally brewed ale, listen to some live music, and enjoy a very scenic, quiet day here in Liverpool. Or you may want to go to a privileged access opportunity again, which is Clan Mackenzie. And this is the home of the chief of the Clan Mackenzie, Earl of Cromarty. His family has lived here for over 500 years, and it's one of the few castles in Scotland that's still occupied by the original family. The Earl of Cromarty will welcome you, and then he'll personally conduct you on a tour of his home, and you can learn about the history and see some of the amazing artifacts that they have there. Our next day is Belfast, and this picture is an optional excursion of Giant's Causeway. So beautiful hexagonal stones and lots to see here, but this is such a great photo. I wanted to talk about that first. Over 40,000 hexagonal stones that are basalt columns that interlock, but the folklore is that the giants would cross from Ireland to Scotland over these stones. And one of our excursions is you can go to Giant's Causeway, then we'll look at the Dunluce Castle remains, and then if there's time, visit the famous rope bridge that spans an 80-foot chasm over the ocean. Beautiful, beautiful scenery. So great day in Belfast, not just for this excursion, but we'll be going out to the countryside where you can experience the history of St. Patrick, see the Cathedral Church of the Holy Trinity, more commonly known as Down Cathedral, and you'll be able to visit St. Patrick's grave and learn about his incredible history there. And there's a lot to learn on the North Island. We have some murals that tell the stories of all the troubles and the fighting between the Protestants and Catholics over the years. There's the Crumlin Road Jail, which is very famous as well. And you'll get to see the highlights of the capital, past the Grand Opera House. There's an Albert Memorial Clock. You'll get to see the Queen's University and Botanic Gardens. And as you pass the Belfast City Hall, there is a Titanic memorial. So you might want to take your free time and just go to this interactive museum. It's actually shaped like the Titanic. You can stand in the shipyard where the Titanic was built, learn all about the history at the world's largest Titanic museum. Day 8 is going to take us to Liverpool, and this, of course, is the birthplace of the Beatles, but still a cultural center in and of its own right. It's got impressive architecture everywhere. Everywhere you turn, you're going to see a beautiful waterfront area, and of course, learn about the history of the Beatles as you're there. You have the famous landmarks of Penny Lane and Strawberry Field. We'll stop at the Peace Garden. But if you'd like to do a privileged access experience, you're going to want to do the fully immersive Beatles experience. So we have an option that's available after hours. So you can have a full time during the day to do the sites in Liverpool, and in the evening have this privileged access experience where you're going to have a tribute band playing some of the Beatles music, hear the stories, see the artifacts, the museum pieces there that you won't find anywhere else. And of course, we've got some great privileged access opportunities here as well. One I thought was great is called Afternoon Tea with the Lord Mayor of Liverpool. So you'll go to St. George's Hall, and that's in the historic St. George's Quarter, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It was built back in 1854. And then you'll see a portion of the original mosaic floor that was laid when the hall was built, which has over 30,000 tiles. And they didn't actually discover that until 1954. But after your tour, you're going to head to Liverpool's Town Hall, which was built in the 18th century. And it is the home of the Lord Mayor. And so you'll get a tour of that and then have tea with the mayor that afternoon. So doesn't that sound like a fun optional excursion? Day 10 will take us to Holyhead, and the next day, that's going to be a special day, a wonderful little port of call. It's part of your included experience, and there are many castles in this area. This one happens to be the three-walled Roman fortress. You can see it just dominates the city. You'll have an included experience and walking around town, seeing this old fortress, and of course, the Holyhead Maritime Museum as well. Great little walking tour that we have planned, but you've got some optional experience as well. Those of you who like trains will enjoy the Festung Railway, where we'll have a scenic drive on this train. It'll take you through Snowdonia National Park. There's a little lunch that you have as well, and the scenery is beautiful. So those of you who like rail journeys will really want to do this on day 10 in Holyhead. Day 11 will be in Dublin, which is actually a Viking settlement originally. It's now one of Europe's most significant cultural hubs, and we've got a great included panoramic tour here. We're going to take you to Trinity College, St. Patrick's Cathedral. We'll drive by the Guinness Storehouse. You won't be able to stop there on this tour, but you will be able to get a tour of the city. But in town, you're definitely going to want to visit Trinity College. This was founded back in 1592 by Queen Elizabeth I. The grounds are beautiful, but of course, the highlight here is going to be seeing the 9th century Book of Kells. This is a beautiful handwritten and illuminated manuscript of the four Gospels. One of the college professors said, "What the Mona Lisa is to Paris, the Book of Kells is to Ireland." It's a stunning exhibit, and of course, so is the library. It's over 300 years old with over 200,000 books. But of course, St. Patrick's Cathedral is also a highlight here. And if you want to do a optional tour, of course, you want to stop in Guinness Storehouse. Very popular tour, gives you the history of Guinness. You'll learn their clever marketing strategies. And of course, at the very end, you're going to get the opportunity to pour your perfect pint and just sit back and relax, enjoy history and a real Irish experience. Day 12, we're going to be having some scenic cruising. Our first day to really relax. See the white cliffs of Dover as we go from the Irish to the Celtic Sea around Wales and England. We're going to come into this English Channel in the Strait of Dover and see these beautiful cliffs. It's such great scenery, but of course you'll have time on the ship. You can actually do some reading, maybe take part in a cooking class, learn about the history of the ports that we still have yet to go to, or enjoy that incredible spa, which we'll be giving a tour of in just a minute if you haven't seen it. Day 13 is an important town because we're going to Dover, and of course we're going to see the Canterbury Cathedral, established back in 597 by St. Augustine. So there's over 14 years of history here. You'll be able to explore Canterbury on your own after that. And of course, we've got an optional tour of Canterbury Cathedral as well as Leeds Castle. And Leeds Castle is one of England's oldest and most romantic castles, built back by the Normans in the 1100s and famous for Henry VIII, who turned it into a royal palace for the first time. But a lot of great experiences here. If you love gardening, you may want to go to Sissinghurst Gardens, and has a remnant of a castle there and a beautiful scenic drive going out into the countryside. But we have other gardens and castle visits as well. So beautiful day on day 13 in Dover. And now we're nearing the end of our cruise. We're getting to London. Get up early because we're going to be docking in Greenwich. Just a short drive to London, but beautiful waterfront area. Got a lot of history here, but so many different experiences. We have Buckingham Palace, Parliament, Big Ben, Westminster Abbey, where the monarchs have been coronated and buried here over the years. We've got a wonderful extension called Churchill's Britain, which offers a tour of the cabinet war rooms. It was the secret underground bunker of Churchill when they fought the war against the Germans during World War II. Of course, you've got St. Paul's Cathedral and the Tower of London. You can visit during the day and see the British crown jewels. But if you really want a privileged access experience that is unique, you will want to do the Ceremony of the Keys. This is such a popular excursion. It's been going on every night for 700 years without fail. You can't take pictures of it or videos. You just have to experience it personally. Your tour will take you there at night in around 8:30, and the chief yeoman warder of the tower, or beefeater, as you see here, will give you a tour of the grounds and the White Tower, the tower that was built by William the Conqueror in 1078. And that's where Mary, Queen of Scots, was beheaded. The ceremony actually locks up the gate to the tower, and its pomp and circumstance at its finest. The same words are repeated every night, and very popular excursion. You can also do a boat ride along the Thames where you'll pass the Tower of London. You can see the Parliament Square, Big Ben, and of course, take the opportunity to do the London Eye Ferris wheel to give you really great views of the river. In the next morning, you're actually going to be disembarking the ship, but I hope you can extend your stay because as I mentioned, there's just so many great opportunities to, once you're over there, enjoy being in the destination. We have Bergen for 2 nights. The Best of Norway and Scenic Train is such a popular excursion. And Oslo is actually an easier airport to fly out of. So a little tip there, enjoy some incredible scenery and have better flight options as well. You can do 2 nights of Oslo and the Scenic Train, and Iceland and the Golden Circle has been very, very popular. You'll see the hot springs there, get a tour of the town of Reykjavik. Churchill's Britain, 5 nights, discover everything about Winston Churchill and learn about his Chartwell, where he was born. His birthplace was Blenheim Palace, his family home at Chartwell, and you'll really enjoy this. We usually have to build the cruise around the extension if you want this one, because it is difficult to get. This and Great Homes Gardens and Gin, which takes you to Highclere Castle, home of TV's Downton Abbey. So great pre and post packages, wonderful way to extend your trip, get to know people that will be on your Viking cruise if you're coming in early, get acclimated to the time change, have some opportunity to catch up on your rest and explore the city on your own. And if you do it post cruise, it's a wonderful way to cement relationships and extend your vacation just a little bit longer. And now you might want to know, okay, why would I use Imagine Going There Travel? Well, Viking is all we do. As you can tell, we know it inside and out. We really strive to get you the best pricing, bonuses. There's always extras that we can do for our clients. Many times we've been able to add different promotions or bonuses that they wouldn't have gotten anywhere else. We have the most knowledgeable and personalized service for you. We have a great team who specializes just in Viking to service your reservation. You never have to worry about calling an 800 number. You're going to be able to talk with us and be in touch with us directly. We're going to give you the best advice on all your options, what the cancellation policies, how to use those vouchers, best insurance options, of course, how to make the most of your Viking dollars. And our motto is great vacations matter because great memories matter the most. I'm here to help with any questions you may have, but of course, now I want to give you a tour of the ship and we can explore a little bit more about Viking's beautiful ocean ships. This is what they look like. Beautiful yacht ships, very sleek in design, only 930 staterooms. And you can see just a beautiful yacht, sleek looking feel. This is the 3-deck atrium, and we have a lovely area that makes you feel like you're home away from home. The evening, you're going to have some live music there as you wait for dinner to open up for you, that interactive screen at the top of the steps. Daily has places where Viking sails, but at night there's a partnership with the Edinburgh Museum in Norway, and we have a wonderful art show that you can relax and enjoy there while you're visiting with your friends in these wonderful living areas. As you can see, just 4 to 6 people can sit comfortably, get a chance to visit, and never have to feel like you are looking for a place to sit down and be able to chat. Explorer's Lounge is a beautiful area, 2 stories. You've got the full reindeer skins, the interactive maps, and of course you've got an incredible scenery. Imagine just sailing through the fjords here and having these incredible views. We've got a great library here, so you'll see people just relaxing and napping, having a good book in the afternoon, enjoying a relaxing day at sea. Winter Garden is one of my favorites. It's where we have this incredible Four Seasons type high tea in the afternoon. So whether it's clotted cream and scones and petit fours and sandwiches or 20 different types of loose tea, you will have a really relaxing experience in the afternoon, accompanied by some live music, a string trio, for instance, and really enjoy a day to relax and have time to just talk about what you got to do during the day in port. Outside of the Winter Garden area, you can see this main pool with this retractable roof. So regardless of what the weather is like, you're going to be able to enjoy being outside. The pool is heated, get your exercise, amazing pool and bar grill, and incredible hamburger, voted at one point the best hamburger at sea. At night, turns into an entertainment venue, and you've got the interactive screen or maybe a movie playing, Bose headphones, blankets to warm up, maybe a show you'll enjoy in the evening. So it's a beautiful, very versatile area. Then we have the infinity pool, makes you feel like you're swimming right in your destination. And of course, the beautiful spot Oh, so much to do here. You see under that firewall, that bench, that's where you can find people just sitting, talking about their day. The whirlpool in the front is the place to sit and relax. And on the other side of the stairs is a continuous current pool so you can get your exercise, do those laps to stay in shape. And of course, we have a lovely area of sauna, plunge pool. That heat and cold is all about the Nordic way. So we even have a snow grotto, first of its kind at sea, which has snowflakes falling from the ceiling to stimulate that body circulation. Of course, the restaurant, we've got wonderful options for your dining pleasure. The restaurant has amazing food, not a bad view anywhere in the restaurant. You can sit with whomever you want, whenever you want, and change it every day if you choose. Manfredi's is a specialty restaurant with a wonderful Italian theme. Beefsteak Florentine is delicious here, and this is one of those that you'll make reservations for in advance. There's also private dining areas. You'll be able to get in touch with guest services on the ship if you're traveling with a group to see if that's available. And then the chef's menu is an alternating wine pairing menu, so it changes every couple of days, so you'll be able to enjoy a different dining experience while you're on your journey. Mamson's is a very popular Norwegian deli named after the chairman's mother, which is right there. And the chairman's being pulled on that little toboggan there, known for its Belgian waffles with caramelized goat cheese and berries for breakfast. Maybe come back and do a Norwegian dessert. And then at night, 10 o'clock, as a wonderful light brothy split pea soup that you'll really enjoy. This is actually his mother's china that they found pieces of, had it recreated. And so very themed tribute to the chairman's mother. Aquavit Terrace, always wonderful places to sit outside and eat, enjoy those incredible views. And then I want to quickly just talk about the staterooms. I just did a sample from another itinerary. So with Viking, you have so many inclusions. Where the distinctions come is in the level of category that you book. So guests will often ask me, okay, if everything is the same size, why is the pricing different? Well, these are categories, Veranda 1 and 2, and then Deluxe Veranda. There's 6 of those, and it's all based on the placement of the ship. Now, as you go up from Deluxe Veranda to Penthouse Veranda, Junior Suite, and then Explorer Suite, you're going to get some extra benefits, such as earlier access to your stateroom on embarkation day. Your stateroom will have additional amenities like alcohol, laundry, dry cleaning, etc. And then you get the earlier window to book your shore excursions. And why is that important? Well, you haven't included a shore excursion in every port. And when you're on the river cruises, it's pretty much every day you're getting off the ship at 8:45 or 9 if you want to go on it. Well, on the ocean ships, we've got 930 guests. So not everybody can get off the ship at 8:45 or 9. So they do stagger those. And so when you book when that option to opens up for you to book your shore excursions, then you're going to want to get online, and maybe if you wanted to do an optional excursion in the afternoon, but now the only included one is at 2 p.m., for instance, you're going to have to choose between the two. So you want the most options, book the owner suite, and then you'll have other options under that. I usually say at least get the Deluxe Veranda because there's over 270 staterooms in this category. And so 270 plus people will be picking before Veranda 1 and 2. But if you're flexible, and it's not that important to you, or you do other things on your own, then of course, every stateroom is a great stateroom, as I've said. But I like people to know the advantages of the different categories early on. Now, a quick view of the staterooms. This is the entry-level stateroom. It's 270 square feet. It's beautiful. And there's plenty of space. You've got this amazing bathroom with heated floors like there are on all the Viking ships. In the Veranda category, you're going to get in at 3 p.m. and you'll start booking your shore excursions about 60 days prior. And then you do have a free mini bar stocked that first day with soft drinks, water, and snacks. It is not restocked after that, though. But then as you go to the Deluxe Veranda category, you're going to get in at 2 p.m. You'll have a little sooner to book those shore excursions. And then your mini bar is now restocked daily, and you have a coffee maker in your room. Again, the Deluxe Veranda, exact same size, but when we go up to the Penthouse Veranda, now we're getting a larger stateroom, and we have earlier access. We have guaranteed priority reservations at 70 days prior, so even sooner. And now your mini bar has alcohol included. Then you have your pressing and shoe sign service available, as well as a welcome bottle of champagne. Now, I like to point out this vanity, ladies. It is in all the staterooms and it is wonderful. So make sure you check that out because the lighting is great and it keeps you from getting in the way of your travel partner. Penthouse Junior Suite is, again, another upgrade, larger stateroom, 11 a.m. access. And now we have all the other advantages, but now we have laundry and dry cleaning as well. And then look at the size of this. Of course, you have the 2-room area. So you have that closed off curtain. So if you like to get up earlier than your travel partner or stay up later, you know you're not going to be disturbing them. Of course, you have that sofa in your room so you can entertain, and you have this beautiful veranda as well. In this category, we have a heated towel bar, double vanity sinks, the bathroom, and everything is larger, of course. We have the Explorer Suites, and they range from about 750 to about 1,160 square feet. Now, different parts of the ship, forward or aft. We'll be happy to talk you through the advantages of those. And of course, you've got tons of space. And of course, the lounge chairs, forward or aft, beautiful, beautiful views. And this is the category that has the bathtubs. So the owner suite is the only thing above the Explorer Suite. And of course, you have your own everything here. This is where the chairman stays when he sails with Viking. You've got a boardroom that seats 12. You've got your ocean view dry sauna as well. This sells out. So you have one of these on the ship. So if this is something that's important to you, make sure you book that early. Here's some great images of the sitting area, the stateroom, the bathroom, just beautiful. And one thing about Viking's bathroom amenities is they're large size, they're color coded, and the print is large. So you never have to wonder if you're putting lotion on your hair instead of conditioner, for instance, and don't have to have your readers in the bathroom to see what products you're putting on your body. Beautiful walk-in showers, large, comfortable, plush robes and slippers. As I mentioned, heated floors, very spacious, very luxurious. So Viking has made it a home away from home in the ultimate of luxury. And of course, we're here to help you make those decisions for the best Viking vacation for you. I appreciate you joining me today as we talked about the British Isles Explorer. And if I can answer any questions for you, feel free to contact me, Carol at imaginegoingthere.com. Thanks for joining me.